Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is another update video for Resident Evil 4 Remake. Yep, we're getting these update videos. I decided to continue doing them because I want to do them. And today we have a lot more information than last time, because last time we had just a little bit of information about the whole Steam thing and all about the weapon, all that kind of stuff. Now, today we have kind of a bit of a big update, because we got some new gameplay, a bunch of screenshots, which kind of really excite me, and I will be definitely seeing some gameplay breakdowns. There's just few gameplay footage. There's not a lot, but there's a lot of screenshots has been showing up the internet and mostly on Twitter. And I am definitely gonna break down every single thing and give you guys my thoughts. So without further ado, let's begin. So you guys saw the first footage, which I definitely did slow-mo it actually a little bit. The first footage, we see Leon getting out from the church after getting Ashley, and you were swarmed by a bunch of enemies, which is pretty cool, seeing a bunch of Ganados and how they look. They look more gritty in this game, a lot more gritty, which is kind of cool. I do really like the Ganados, what they look like, because there's actually, of course, some more screenshots to explain this. And that was like the first footage. The second footage of Ashley getting grabbed. Well, then of course it acts the same way. So you have definitely, of course, two options: either shoot the enemies like we do, or you can go behind the enemy and actually stab them, which is really good. And it's a really interesting mechanic. And I decided to show the video twice and kind of been in slow-mo, so you can see the idea what it looked like. Now, of course, we got a lot more screenshots now of the same area with the whole village as well. As you can see, we got some more screenshots of a bit of the footage, like piece by piece. Different type of weaponries are in this one. The bottom left, I think, is kind of like a bit of the stuff. So we have Ashley in the cabin. Oh, this is one of the cabin areas, and here's some of the screenshots from the enemies, and just how the map system and all that kind of stuff. It's really very interesting and very intriguing. Looking at these screenshots, and probably just gonna be more screenshots in the future. So it's really good to see a lot of this from the game, and we get some information. And majority of this happens, of course, after you get to Ashley. This is kind of like the night sections. This is kind of like a simulation of chapter 2-2, what it looked like. So and another thing that really I want to mention is what are the stuff to expect in this game. So here's the things that the game is definitely required, or one of the things are going to be. So one of the things about this game is there's not going to be any QTEs. One of the things about the game, you can carry multiple knives in this game as well. So I was wrong, because I was thinking you had to only have to use one knife. So now you can use multiple knives like the other Resident Evil games. That's one of the things. The other thing is the laser sight is now, instead of something that's permanent in your gun, on the gun, like the original, is actually an upgrade. And of course, the yellow orbs are definitely returning in the game to maximize your health, which is pretty good. Instead, now the command of the Ashley commands, instead of using one of the trigger buttons, is now using R3 to basically get her out, of course. And one of the things that interests me here is ground executions can prevent plagas from forming or for spawning, which is very useful for the night section because the plagas won't come out until chapter 2. So doing this will make, doing playthroughs, of course, easier. But of course, since the knife have a bit of a durability system, we can't, of course, do that. We can't just keep stabbing the knife in the neck unless there's an upgrade to have infinite durability with the knife, which probably there is. So here's one thing that kind of sucks now. There's no dumpster that actually can hide in. So you have to really get her in a good position or a good area and try to be really smart about where you're keeping Ashley around, or keep her in a very safe distance from the enemy. So it does want to do one of that, of course. And you guys remembered one of the early things about the merchant, and there was what we call the bolt thrower. It's basically a crossbow, in other words. So it's basically a crossbow with a mine thrower. It's kind of like the pipe thing from Resident Evil 6 with Ada, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And by the way, back to Ashley. So there's no dumpster, so she's gonna take a lot more hits. Well, let's just say there's a little bit of workaround around this. She doesn't have any health bar, But of course, if she gets hit, she can't be revived. Of course, she doesn't have to. So basically, her dying doesn't resolve a game over, which is pretty good. There's gonna be some new enemy types, which is something that the second and third remake lack. So, because I want a remake to have new enemies, so I'm pretty excited. There are gonna be some side quests in this game. If you guys remembered, in the original, in the village section, you can get the medallions, and once you get all the medallions, you get the Punisher for free. If you get 10 of them, you get the Punisher, basically, at least 10. And if you get all 15, you get the Punisher with a little bit extra firepower upgrade attached to it, which is really useful, So there's gonna be a lot of these quests, a little bit of side quests in this, which is pretty good. So, and now the other thing about this, the attaché case now have perks that, for example, they can increase ammo drops. So this is very, very useful. So the attaché case is not going to be there just for show, like in the original. So it's not going to be just for show, and it's not going to be just, you get so basically, in the original, the max amount of ammo you get for one cartridge is 50, so there's probably going to be more, so double it down, or maybe quadruple, which is very, very, very useful. One feature they added back from Resident Evil 2 Remake, you can actually barricade doors and barricade windows. Basically, it's not only just for one session or a few sessions in the game, but you can do it any time you want to, which is kind of cool, like a returning feature from Resident Evil 2 Remake, which is really amazing. And the last thing, they say that the game's gonna be blending horror and action very well. So I'm pretty much excited to see what they're doing with it, and I will give you guys the information as I'll pop on the screen so you guys can see it, and you can pause it and read it for you guys yourselves. So from reading all this, the gameplay is a lot more interesting than it was in the original. It's basically just, the gameplay is a lot better and a lot more interesting in terms of gameplay. So I am very, very excited for this gameplay. The gameplay felt like it's really fantastic. The multi-weapons, of course, are back. There's not gonna be one type of weapon, there's always of course there's a handgun, and then you got the red 9 and everything. So it's really, really amazing. to hear something like this from a game, from Resident Evil 4 Remake, and it does get me a little bit more excited for the game, and hopefully, the game be really good and stand on its own. Like I've mentioned previously on my previous game, I think the remakes are their own game. I said it once, and I'll say it again. I'll say it for the third time. The remakes is their own game. I don't think they are basically replacements of the original. I believe this is their own individual games, in my opinion. They look like individual games. They're not like, oh my god, they're like, it's a remake and it's way better, so you should not play the original. Play the original. I would recommend playing the OG trilogy, or the OG 4 games. I highly recommend playing them before playing the remake. This is just my personal preference, in my opinion, because you need to experience both sides of the coin, like I did. I experienced both sides of the coin, and the original kind of like winning to some degree. Have a soft spot for the original trilogy, so as well as Resident Evil 4. Because Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. We are less than 60 days away, by the way. Today is January 31st. So we are basically almost, I would say, 2 months away. Less than 2 months away from the game's release. And I do believe a month, basically I believe that next month, by the end of next month, we're going to see a demo. Which, like I said, if a demo drops, hopefully on the PS4, I'm definitely looking forward to this game's release. Here's the thing about the PS4 performance. If I want to say like it's gonna be like, the PS5 and like new gen's gonna be like 60 frames, and it's gonna be like 4K, while the PlayStation version will be 1080p 30 frames. So it's not gonna be as fast paced as in the new gen consoles. The new gen consoles a little stronger. And know that they mentioned about action as well, so there are going to be action set pieces, and it's not going to be fully gone, which is good because we need a bit of action systems. I need just a little bit, no problem. I have no issues with that. So, looking and hearing all that, that's really good and pretty exciting news. I'm starting to get a little bit more excited for the game, but I'm always need to be careful to not let my excitement get the better of me, when it comes to games, because Resident Evil 3 Remake was kind of disappointing. So I'm pretty much I don't want to get my hopes up and see, oh my god, the game's gonna be amazing. I need to be really careful, of course. So yeah, that's the end of the video. You hope I've enjoyed it. If you do, tell me what's your favorite part. Tell me what you're excited for the most. You excited for the game? Not excited for the game? Are you pre-ordering the game? Of course, I'll be playing the game day 1 and launch day, guarantee. And of course, I'll definitely try to, update the game, or give you guys updated for Resident Evil 4 Remake. If you guys want to see like more of the Resident Evil 4 remake updates, I have the first video, or the previous video, linked down in the description. And as well, not only that, but linked down in the description is going to be all my Resident Evil 4 remake videos. If you guys are interested to watch every single one of them, is down below. Let me guys know what you think in the comments section. Are you guys excited? Not excited? Are you guys worried? Are you guys, like me, who are pretty much like, looking forward to see what the game it is? So yeah, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you guys in the next update video for Resident Evil 4, or a new video. Take care.